the money-making schedule for new roofing sales reps. Because if you don't make your very first sale, this business won't work. You will turn into a statistic, the 2 out of 3 roofing sales reps that will quit or get fired in their very first year, often in their first few months. Why? Because without success in this business, you doubt the industry, you doubt yourself, and you doubt the company you're with. You get little chatters from home from the doubtful, skeptical spouse or significant other, and then you leave for a real job. And sadly, many people leave moments before, days before, they just blow out the floodgates of success. I've watched it happen a ton. I share these stories in my book. So if you need help navigating the mental and emotional battlefield, grab your copy right now. By the way, it is also available for free. This is new. I made it free inside my free training center. You'll get a digital copy. If you're someone that wants to Audible or grab a print copy, jump onto Amazon right now. But there's nothing holding you back. Jump into my free training center, grab it. Now, listen, this video is for the new hire as well as the owner or manager who's recruiting and growing a team. So do share this video with the people that need to see it. Hey, before we get started, welcome back. Adam Bensman here, and I am zipped up and more energized than ever because I just got out of chatting with some folks inside the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance. And by the way, I'm a founder of this group. It's an application-only members group, and we're united around a mission to reform the corrupt and greedy practices of the industry through leadership and action. And we all come together for sales training, for community and collaboration, as well as leveraging the endorsement of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, who's been featured in Fox, ABC, NBC, CBS, and USA Today. And one of our members inside our private app posted, what's an ideal schedule for a new salesperson? So I wanted to demystify all that in this video and share it with you. Now let's begin. Most folks, and by the way, this gentleman who asked this question, he came very well educated, which I love and appreciate. But he had heard what you have probably heard, which is the prime time to knock is 4 to 7, right? And that's Monday through Friday, and then get out from 10 to 2 on Saturdays. Have you heard this? Yeah, this is like door knocking 101. This is when you should be doing it. But now, what I'm going to do is ask you a question. If you're new, there's 3 hours a day for knocking, roughly, right? 4 to 7. What else do you have to do? That's right. Not a lot. Now, next question. What's the most important thing for you to do? Make sales, right? So what we need to do is focus on income producing activities. By the way, thank you, Brian Tracy, for inspiring that language. I've recommended pretty much everything he's ever written. You can get my recommended reading list in the free training center as well. Now, income producing activities. Let's make a list of what those are. First, we have knocking doors. Don't worry, I'm going to stitch all this together into a plan. Then we have leaving letters at the door. No, not door hangers, not the glossy things that you hang, the letter, okay? Then we have direct mail, okay? So we can mail a letter. That's what direct mail means, is the old school way. I don't know if you guys know how stamps work, and I'm just totally messing with you. It's a dated thing, which is why it's less crowded and it actually captures attention, which is phenomenal. Then we have cold calls. By the way, there are regulations on this. Please only cold call if you have permission to actually call them. More on that in a little bit. And then we have your network. It's all the people you know who might need a roof, because chances are if you know people and you're in an area where people need roofs, that someone you know needs a roof. And the final one is referrals, okay? So my next question is, when should you be doing this? Oh, yeah. The answer is very simple, all day long. This is a very simple concept. Don't worry, I'm going to stitch it together into a plan for you, okay? All day long. So you might be saying, Adam, well, people aren't home. Not where you found them to be. But when people say you should knock 4 to 7, the truth is that there are neighborhoods that have people home. People that are maybe doing shift work. They're leaving for work later in the day or they're home in late afternoon. There are retirees and there are stay-at-home moms and dads. These people may not have every single door having someone behind it who's willing to talk to you, but they do exist. So what we need to do is just simply track it and make the most of our efforts, which I'm going to break down, because yes, we can do this all day long. By the way, stick through the end. I'm going to talk follow-ups and how to adjust your schedule as you get busy, all right? Now, in my system, which I'm going to give you a high overview of right now, we're going to stitch all these together into a complete plan, which I'm going to walk you through in this very moment. But to do this effectively, we need to track it. I provide a canvassing tracker. You can use an app or you can grab a piece of paper. So here's what you need to track. You need to track the address. I'm just writing Addie, the time you showed up, and then are they home, yes or no? Okay, pretty much it. What I'm going to do is show up and knock the door. I'll write down the address as I'm walking up, just looking at the street number, this address, put it in your CRM, maybe use Sales Rabbit or Spotio. Okay, Then if no one's home, I click no, they're not home. Just circle the N next to home. I'm gonna leave a letter at the door, okay? Now, this is why that's important. Let's say I'm there at noon, no one's home. If I circle back in that same neighborhood, I'm gonna knock behind these letters, anyone that wasn't home. And now I'm making door knocking not suck, because the hardest part of door knocking is showing up as a complete stranger. And the homeowner thinks you have something to sell me. But what I do is I show up behind the letter, I say, hey, listen, my name's Adam, and the reason I'm stopping by is I actually was here at noon. You guys weren't home, so I left you a personal letter at the door, a little note. And I wanted to stop by and ask what questions you had for me about the letter I left you. And now you're there with a purpose, it's intentional, and you're not there to sell anything, and you're not there about the roof, you're there about the letter. And there's one of two outcomes. They're gonna be like, I got it, great, thank you so much, yada, yada. They're gonna talk with you, I was meaning to call, and you get the appointment signed, or you get the appointment scheduled, or the inspection done on the spot. Or the other outcome is they say, what letter are you talking about? I didn't get it. And it's like, no big deal, glad I'm here. Well, you're in conversation, now you can keep pitching. If you want more help, by the way, on how to handle this pitch, jump into my free training center, there's no catch. You get a copy of my book, get my recommended reading list. You'll see all my playlists on videos on acing your pitch at the door and canvassing and all that jazz, okay? Then at night, when I'm back at home, because it got dark, so this is all day during daylight, I'm gonna send a letter in the mail because I have the address of everyone that wasn't home. So now I'm layering in the additional touches. They may have seen me in the neighborhood twice that day. They got a letter in the door, I showed back up, and then I sent a letter in the mail, and I'm persistent. Because again, you'll see this in other videos I've done. If you have this mindset, like I'm gonna go through this neighborhood, no one was home, and go through the next one, you are fighting an uphill battle, making it so much harder for yourself than sticking and staying put and getting impressions on you, your company, over and over and over again. Because even if it doesn't seem like they see you, they may have seen you on the Ring camera, they may have seen your truck or you on a roof or talking to someone, they got the letter, they on the door, they saw the letter in the mail, and you're creating this familiarity. There's a gentleman named Marshall who switched to using the concept of this system. In fact, the entire system that I have available, my sales system, it's exclusively available to members of RSRA, but he had camped out in a neighborhood and sold $500,000, so $500,000 in 6 weeks from switching to the system. By the way, before that, it was like 8 months. He'd done $350,000, and he switched to this and did $500,000 in 6 weeks, okay? Now, then I'm gonna work cold calls, because if I have the right data, I can call on the homeowners who weren't home, because now I can, the same SLAP formula that I teach, which again, you'll grab that in the playlist, will work over the phone. And quick plug for owners and managers, inside RSRA, we had a member-led, called a leadership roundtable, where our owners actually peel back the curtains. We had a couple of them who've built call centers in-house, sharing where to get the data from, how to scrub it so it's compliant, how to call on it, how to convert those appointments, including how to hire the team, managing the team, all the costs, all the KPIs, everything. So definitely must watch. By the way, members of RSRA, if you're watching, jump into the leadership roundtable, click sessions and recordings. If you don't see it, tag me, I'll get it to you. Next is our network. This is reaching out, new sales reps. Reach out to your friends and your family, everyone you know. Post on social media, because the people you know may need a roof. This is an easy way to get started. And then of course, after you get your first sale, we're gonna be asking for referrals. Again, in my free training center, I have a ton of videos on getting referrals, the right incentive structure, all that jazz is in there. So high level, what you want to be doing is ignore the best time and the ideal time, because you, my friend, have all the time in the world to be doing income producing activities. Shout out Brian Tracy, thank you for that one. And you want to do this all day. A couple of quick notes to add this before we wrap up, and stick around because I got another video for you that you're going to want to watch. Your follow-up calls, as you start building your pipeline, make them between 8 and 9 a.m. to catch people on the way to work, not in the evening when they're settling down or making dinner. Finally, in the times that you need to do your admin stuff, like updating your CRM and sending out direct mail letters, these things you want to do in off-peak selling times, which would be super early in the morning, over lunch, rain days, or late in the evening. Your key message, do this stuff all day. Stick and stay put in the same neighborhood. And then jump into this next video with me on how to make your very first sale. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you soon.